A day before the disappearance of the doomed Titan submersible, a British businessman and explorer wrote of his pride to be going down to the Titanic as a mission specialist. A veteran of extreme expeditions, Harding said he would be accompanied by a couple of legendary explorers on the dive starting early Sunday morning. His last social media post included a photo of the OceanGate submersible and another of Harding signing a Titanic expedition banner. The dive is likely to be the first and only manned mission to the Titanic in 2023. Because of the particularly harsh winter, Harding wrote last Saturday, one day after the expedition departed from St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada, on the mothership Polar Prince. The next day, the submersible suffered a catastrophic implosion, killing all 5 people on board. U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral John Mauger announced Thursday, 4 days after the craft vanished in the vicinity of the 111-year-old wreckage of the Titanic in the depths of the North Atlantic. The announcement ended a desperate international search and rescue effort that captured global attention. In addition to Harding, the other passengers on board were Stockton Rush, the OceanGate CEO and founder, Pakistani billionaire Shahzada Dawood, and his son Suleiman Dawood, and French diver Paul-Henri Nargeolet, a renowned Titanic expert with decades of exploring experience. At the site of the Titanic wreck, roughly 900 miles off the coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts, the submersible began its 2-hour-long descent of 12,500 feet below sea level. The $250,000 per person expedition was billed as a chance to step outside of everyday life and discover something truly extraordinary, according to an archived version of OceanGate's website. It was 9 a.m. Atlantic Daylight Time, 1.5 hours ahead of Eastern Time, according to Miapukik Maritime Horizon Services, which co-owns the Polar Prince. At 11:47 a.m., the 21-foot submersible lost contact with its mother ship. With no GPS underwater, the craft was only guided by text messages from the surface ship. Hours later, at 6:10 p.m., the submersible failed to resurface as scheduled. Authorities were notified at 6:35 p.m., according to Miapukik Maritime Horizon Services, launching an international search and rescue effort. The Titan has 4 days of emergency capability, Mauger told reporters. The sub's 96-hour emergency air supply set up Thursday morning as a crucial search target. U.S. and Canadian Coast Guard crews scoured the ocean's surface and used sonar to listen for sounds far below the water. OceanGate Expeditions said in a statement Monday night it was taking every step possible to return the 5 crew members. Sonar picked up banging sounds from underneath the water in the North Atlantic Ocean while searching for the submersible, according to an internal U.S. government memo on the search. Crews detected banging sounds every 30 minutes and hours later, after additional sonar devices were deployed. Banging was still heard, according to the memo obtained by CNN. The underwater noises were detected by a Canadian P-3 aircraft, prompting the relocation of resources to explore their origin, the U.S. Coast Guard said via Twitter, adding that the searches have yielded negative results. U.S. naval experts were analyzing the data. Officials were unsure whether that was enough time to rescue those on board. Canadian P-3 aircraft detected underwater noises in the search area, according to the U.S. Coast Guard. Underwater remotely operated vehicles were relocated to explore the origin of the noises, and data was sent to U.S. Navy experts for analysis. It was unclear whether the noises heard Tuesday night and Wednesday morning were from the missing submersible, according to Frederick. If the craft is in the deep ocean, staying warm and lucid will be the biggest hurdles for the 5 passengers, experts warned. They're freezing cold, retired Navy captain. They're all huddled together trying to conserve their body heat, and they're running low on oxygen and they're exhaling carbon dioxide. The U.S. moved in military and commercial assets as aircraft from the Canadian Armed Forces, the U.S. Coast Guard and the New York Air National Guard looked above and below the water. A research ship with an underwater robot was dispatched by France to join the mission. The banging noises provided faint hope in a dire situation made worse by emerging reports about OceanGate's operations and safety practices. Minutes before a U.S. Coast Guard news conference Thursday afternoon, OceanGate Expeditions issued a statement grieving the 5 men on board. "We now believe that our CEO Stockton Rush, Shahzada Dawood and his sons Suleiman Dawood, Hamish Harding, and Paul-Henri Nargeolet, have sadly been lost," OceanGate said in a statement. These men were true explorers who shared a distinct spirit of adventure, and a deep passion for exploring and protecting the world's oceans. Our hearts are with these 5 souls and every member of their families during this tragic time. We grieve the loss of life and joy they brought to everyone they knew. The tail cone and other debris from the missing submersible were found by a remotely operated vehicle about 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic. This is an incredibly unforgiving environment down there on the seafloor, and the debris is consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the vessel, Mager said. 5 different major pieces of debris from the submersible were found in the area Thursday morning, officials said. Each end of the pressure hull was found in a different place, according to Paul Hankins, U.S. Navy Director of Salvage Operations and Ocean Engineering. The U.S. Navy said it detected an acoustic signature consistent with an implosion on Sunday in the general area where the submersible was diving when it lost communication, a senior Navy official told CNN. The Navy then immediately relayed the information to the commanders leading the search effort, and it was used to narrow down the area of the search, the official said. Still, the sound of the implosion was determined to be not definitive, the official said, and the multinational efforts to find the submersible continued as a search and rescue operation.